Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Last time I talked about part 1 and 2 of the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So today I'm going to be talking about part 3 and 4 of this same book. So let's dive right in. So part 3 says how to win people to your way of thinking. It outlines 12 techniques in which you can use in winning people to think like you. That is, influence people. Let's get started. So principle 1 says the only way to win an argument is to avoid it. Argument makes the other person act defensive. The person loses his face if he loses the argument. So whether you win or you lose, you are not making anybody feel good or feel better or want to be your friend. So avoid arguments.
2 says show respect for other people's opinions. Attacking people's view make them want to strike back instead of changing their mind. So if you want to win people to your way of thinking, you have to respect their views.
So principle 3 says admit when you're wrong. When you make a mistake, be quick to acknowledge it, and people will easily forgive you and be more supportive. But when you don't acknowledge your mistakes, people tend to be frustrated and be critical about you. So learn to admit when you make a mistake and do that quickly.
4 says even if you are angry, begin in a friendly way. You can't win someone who feels negativity towards you. So by soothing their feeling, you can start to bring the person around to your point of view.
So principle number 5 says get the other person to say yes, yes, yes in the beginning. What that means is you begin with things that the other person agree on, then you move to other tougher things that there may be a little disagreement, but getting someone to say yes from the beginning will make you win into your way of thinking.
6. When dealing with complaints, let your clients do the talking. The importance of listening cannot be overemphasized. When you listen for your client to say everything and you wait patiently to understand them fully, you'll be in a better position to help them resolve whatever issue they might be facing. That way, you will win them as well to your way of thinking.
Principle number 7, seek cooperation. Allow the other person to make suggestions. People tend to have faith in what they propose as opposed to what they are being asked to do. And when you allow people to make suggestions, they tend to agree more with you and work with you to achieve your goal.
8. See things from the other person's point of view. Understanding what motivates a person can make you a better friend. So try putting yourself in the other person's shoes so you understand how the person feels.
Principle number 9 says sympathize with the other person's point of view. Learn to say things like, I don't blame you. If I were in your shoes, I would do the same or even worse. That way the person will feel, oh, you're understanding, and you will win the person to your way of thinking. Principle number 10 says appeal to people's higher aspirations and nobler motives. So people usually have 2 reasons for doing something. One is the real reason, the one in their heart. The second one is the one that appeals to everybody, the positive one that people would relate with. So even if you know the one in the person's heart, or you assume you know the one in the person's heart, always appeal to the one that the person wants you to know.
11. Express your ideas in a dramatic way. Dramatizing your plans can make them more powerful and persuasive. As a salesperson, if you use illustrations and showmanship, Your ideas will get across and it will make it look so true and vivid.
Principle number 12 says, use a challenge to motivate others. This technique works because successful people always love a chance to prove their worth. So there is a story of a manufacturing company in which the employer wanted his employee to improve productivity. He talked and talked and talked. They did not listen. Then his friend suggested something he should try. And when he tried it, productivity increased. And what was that? The manufacturing company runs morning shift and night shift. So he decided to write the amount of product the morning shift people produced, and in the morning he will write the amount the night shift people produced. That way, morning shift and night shift started competing. They did not want to be lag behind. They wanted to outshine each other. And he got what he wanted. Productivity increased. So there you have it. 12 ways to make people think like you, to win people to your own way of thinking. Yeah, so part 4 says be a leader. Part 4 outlines 9 useful guidelines that can help you become a leader. So let's talk about them. Leadership tip number 1. To discuss a person's fault, begin with a sincere praise. Tip number 2. If someone makes a mistake, indirectly raise their awareness to it. Tip number 3. Before condemning a person, let the person know that you've done such in the past. So reveal it to the person what you've also done. Tip number 4. Instead of giving orders, allow people to make suggestions by asking questions like, what do you think? Tip number 5. Do not put anybody in a position to save face, where they lose face rather. Allow them save face. Tip number 6. Encourage your employees no matter how small their progress is. Tip number 7. Give people a fine reputation to live up to. Tip number 8. Make people's mistakes easy for them to rectify by suggesting methods in which they can move forward. Tip number 9 and the last, make people feel happy about trying. Always make them feel good for putting in the effort to do the work. So there you have it, 9 tips in which you can become a leader. That is the last part of this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I hope you've learned a thing or two from it. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.